Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have more news about Code Vein, actually a lot of news, and this time we get to talk about the main hub, the NPCs, an affinity system apparently, and also a lot of story elements. I'll just make it short and simple once again as always, and here we go. So we got the main hub of the game, or the home base if you like it, and we got NPCs. Apparently we have two types of NPCs in there. We got the support characters and we also got partner characters. So partner characters, we know them. For example, we have Yakumo, we also have Louis or Mia. For now they don't talk about Mia here because I don't think she's in the main hub at the start of the game. Maybe we'll get to find her later. But anyways, for support characters are like vendors and stuff like that. So you got four of them. You got Rin, which is the equipment vendor. She can upgrade your equipment. You can buy equipment for her. From her you can also upgrade your blood veil or transform a weapon or something like that. Next you also have Coco, which is the item vendor. She's apparently important as she sells some special stuff as you raise her affinity. You also have Davis, which I'm not really sure what his role is, for now, but we'll probably get to know it later. But from what I've seen, from what I've read from this article, he has a purpose in the story in this place. Next and finally, we also have EO that we've seen a long time ago, and apparently she helps the character to repairing memories from the memory fragments that we'll find in the dungeons. For the affinity system, taking actually a partner character with you out in the dungeon will cause their affinity to actually rise, to increase, and as it increases you can get more items from them in the main hub. You can get some actually special weapons. For example, we see a picture here of Louis actually selling his sword to the player, so it's possible to obtain characters' weapon or probably other stuff like that from them by raising your affinity. Also, it's pretty much said here that you can obtain gestures from the NPCs, so I guess it confirms pretty much that we can have emotes, which is a good thing. For the support characters, it will require the player to interact with them in order to raise their affinity. They can sell a lot of stuff. Actually, Coco will sell some special items. If you raise her affinity, she will sell some special items that you can trade with other NPCs, and if they appear to like those items, there will be a surprising reaction from them. ... That's what's written here. So I guess this worked like Goither, where if you raise the affinity of a character, of your support characters, there will be a cutscene actually where you get more friendly with them and you have a good time with the characters. Anyway, I think it's really fun. I hope it works. I hope it will be much more in depth, but I think it was a good thing in Goither. It makes you more attached to the characters anyways. So if you are into those waifus or husbando stuff, I don't know, that's good. So next we have the biggest part of the article, which is about the story. So we got a ton of things about the story, and they kind of explain why why revenants exist, why people become vampires, and they kind of tell a little bit more about the queen and how the society works in Code Vein. Before I talk about the revenants, it seems like the whole vampire stuff circles around that thing called the ball parasite. So the ball parasite is an actual parasite that lives inside the heart of a corpse, and then it takes over every non-functioning organ and makes sure it works again. So now the ball parasite does various things for the revenants. It actually gives them superhuman abilities. It allows them to not die again, but it allows them to die and then revive as long as the revenant's heart is not destroyed, because that's where the ball parasite lives. But whenever a revenant revives, they lose part of their memories, so it's definitely possible for a revenant to die by destroying their heart. I guess that's something that will be exploited in the story of the game, probably for some dramatic moment, I don't know, but we'll see. So next they talk a bit more about the Lost as well. They say that the Lost is a revenant that has gone wild or berserk because of the bloodthirst. Actually, the ball parasite function with blood, so that's why the revenants suffer from bloodthirst. So anyways, the Lost, their ball parasite is still functioning, but not as a usual one apparently, because even though they get their heart destroyed, they will still live again. They don't die. The Lost are they are described as immortal monsters or demons. So now we have the Queen, or the Queen Project as they say here. So the Queen Project was supposed to be something, whether create the perfect revenant or the perfect warrior that would not suffer from the bloodthirst, and apparently it succeeded. However, the subject from the project was a girl who couldn't handle the suffering and the pain that was inflicted to her during the test, and she decided to run away. And now they are looking for her, and they describe her as a threat to the revenants and to the remaining humans in the world, because she's killing everyone and she actually has the power to control the Lost. She doesn't suffer from bloodthirst, she emits miasma, and also she can control the thorns. So she is pretty powerful, and there's a whole organization around that trying to stop her or to kill her apparently, and it's following an operation called Queenslayer Operation. So the Queenslayer Operation is directed by a guy called Gregorio Silva. So this guy was apparently a former soldier, and he wasn't a revenant until he decided himself to turn himself into a revenant in order to take lead in the operation and actually find a way to kill the Queen. So he has a bunch of revenants with him. He has a whole army for that, and apparently it's the reason why there are so many revenants and there are so many Lost at the same time, because he is trying to make sure that get people into this operation in order to kill the Queen. But it seems like people apparently are still dying and they turn to Lost, so it's not really going well for that. Also, it seems like we are the character that we get to play in the game, our main character, will be part of that operation, and we kind of get a glimpse of that in the second trailer, the TGS trailer of the game, where we wear these clothes, and it's very similar to the ones we see in the screenshots right here. Gregorio Silva apparently created a government or something like that. They actually have something called the blood taxes, where they will have to take the blood tears from other revenants and probably keep them from themselves. I don't really know what is going on there, but apparently they have a bit too much authority. It seems like it's a bit like in any other zombie apocalypse story. For example, you can take anything like Dying Light, Walking Dead. There you go. With Negan, he had his tax, so that's the way it works. And actually that's the reason why Davis is in the main hub, because that organization from Silva is everywhere in the remaining world where they live in, and they are trying to control how people are using the blood tears, since it's the only thing that maintains them alive and keeps them away from the bloodthirst. So yeah, there's a lot of things that is going on. They also mentioned that you have remaining human beings, so normal human beings apparently that's still alive, and they are apparently enslaved, and they are severely treated by the other revenants, especially from the organization of Silva. So it seems like things are going really well. I really like the fact that they are going really into a lot of details like that for the story. But anyways, this is all we have for now. I'm really glad that I was able to summarize all that stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time.